The tech is so cool. I'm just waiting for one new tech, and an upgrade would be someone that could be in the kitchen and technology and a robot that would just make food for me without me worrying. But now, of course, as an athlete, you need to obviously pay careful attention to nutrition, and especially when preparing for any competition. So a hot topic, a lot of people are not very aware of what its purpose actually is, but carbohydrates are, in fact, a very important source of fuel for the body, and it's particularly important when it comes to muscle building. So many endurance athletes will find that veg and carbs help in preparing for competitions. So extreme swimmer Ryan Stramrood is joining us in the kitchen and is going to prepare a delicious tomato, basil, and pappardelle pasta dish. Ryan, are you ready for this, man?
I'm ready.
So we know you can swim, we know you can work out, we know you can interview, so we thought let's just test him one more time in the kitchen and see what he's made of.
You guys are putting me to the test, but you know what? This is quite an easy recipe, and it's an absolute perfect thing for what I need and what I eat. So first, should we get going?
Yeah, let's start it up. And then
pan is preheated. This thing is super hot. We're going to add just a little bit of olive oil.
All right.
Always choose the healthier option oil.
Looks hot.
Yeah, no, that is properly hot. I think this pan's been going for quite some time. Then we're going to add some tomatoes, various colors, just to make it look pretty and obviously taste lekker. And we're going to move these around. I'm going to turn this pan down a little bit.
Nice. I love that.
I want to get a little bit of color on these tomatoes. Maybe not as much color as I'm getting right now, but no,
now, obviously, I like
them just to open up a little bit and you know, produce their juices into the mix.
Okay, I got you. So I see you've got a nice little bit of a browning on the side, soft on the inside.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're using color as well, which means there's extra nutrition. You've got some a good energy source there as well. But a question for me is this something that you're always eating? I mean, you as an extreme athlete, you need a lot of energy. So
Indeed.
Is this a standard meal that you prepare?
Pasta for me, absolutely, in various forms. I'm a big pasta fan, and you know, you can often feel your body craving something, and it usually pings on pasta for me. And you know it's the right stuff. Right, so before these get too hot, I'm going to add in, we've chosen a pappardelle pasta. It's quite a thick one, so that gives you that extra carb, but you can use whichever pasta you like, clearly.
All right.
So we're going to just throw this in. Right.
And again, I must just add to the value of this, the fact that we're using something like a complex carb and not a simple carb really helps with an athlete. So your simple carbs are going to just give you that quick spike insulin, but with a complex carb like this, it's a longer chain, which gives you that sustained energy, which I would imagine someone for you, when you're putting in over half an hour of work, that long, slow, low-release GI energy is exactly what you want.
Indeed, you know a lot more than me, but you know, my training on Monday was a 5-hour swim, 16 kilometers. So you know, it's not half an hour, in my game. So you need to think very carefully of that before you jump in the water, because you don't get out and eat halfway. Once you're in, you're in. So you need that slow release. You don't want to get hungry.
And I mean, it's a cold session. You're pushing it. So what then, after a session like that in the ocean, what's kind of like your go-to meal?
I listen to my body, and I'm going to confess, I'm not always that healthy after I've done a very big swim, because you also want to treat yourself a little bit for that mental aspect. So quite often when I'm really battling, I visualize that cheat meal that I'm going to have when I get out. So I have whatever I want, to be honest. But if I want to keep it healthy, then I will have something similar to this.
We were just chatting to Jamie early in the studio, and she was like, I want to live your life, Ryan. You get to eat carbs and all this food. And I'm like, well, if you swam 114 Robben Island swims, you could definitely eat like this. And I think that's an important topic. The fact that you burn so many calories and so much in that session allows you to eat probably the whole pot.
I'm going to answer that now. I'm just going to add the pesto.
I'm distracting you way too much. You're never going to finish this meal. You carry on, though.
You know, a proper chef doesn't like distractions like this, but I'm trying to multitask.
Sensei,
you know, I'm in the kitchen, I'm a male, I'm doing my thing. So we're going to mix this in quite nicely. Now, what you can also do is add a little bit of water, just to make it almost like into a sauce so it doesn't get too dry. Just a drop to your taste. Nice sizzle going on there.
Oh, and the smell's coming through right now of that pesto.
And I've forgotten what I was going to answer you, Al.
No, so I was just saying, your kind of go-to after a session where you were saying you can afford to eat anything.
Correct. So what I want to also just clarify, when you're getting in cold water as often as you do, you actually need some body fat. So I'm not always striving to be completely lean and mean. That doesn't work well in the cold water. You need a little bit of insulation. So I try and break even where I am at the moment. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But as you get older, it gets harder to keep this
I think
belly down.
Mzansi's going to steal that as well. They're going to say, well, no, I'm training for cold water. That's why I've got these layers on.
Indeed.
How are we doing over here with the meal, though, right?
Smelling absolutely brilliant. So we're actually pretty much done. Everything is looking good. Beautiful. But what I'm going to do is just add, for some extra carbs, I'm adding pine nuts today. But you can add whatever. If you're really looking for that carb increase, you can go with croutons or anything else that up carbs it for you. Then we are simply going to mix that in a little bit. And it's ready. It's as simple as that. It's quick and easy. And you've got a cool meal. You've got a little bit of Parmesan there that you grate over afterwards, which also adds to the carbs. So this is one very good and healthy carb meal.
Wow, man.
And it'll look like that afterwards, the bowl that we showcased.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes, and you did it while having a conversation with me as well. But it's always an absolute great pleasure catching up with you, Ryan, man.
I'm a multitasker.
You are indeed. And the one last thing that I'm going to do is probably steal that pot and taste this. So thank you so much for joining us today, man. It's been an absolute honor, and I genuinely am so excited, and I cannot wait for your next journey in the ocean. And I hope to see you there.
Great, thank you. Thanks for the support, guys, and thanks for allowing me into your kitchen today. I really appreciate it.
Grab me a plate there, man. Let's dig in, eh?
Yeah.